Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I was just too busy looking at my Chaos Galaxy TCG official merchandise, now available on Redbubble. See the link in description for more. The Chaos Galaxy online merch store is now live. There'll be a link to the store in the description below. But we've got all sorts on here and the store is still growing. I'm kind of still figuring out Redbubble. We've got sketchbooks for you to draw your TCGs in. This is the Set 1 theme sketchbook with all your favourite creatures from Set 1. It's also in a t-shirt. We've got like classic logo t-shirts. This is my favourite, the 7 Planets tee. I'm a fan of more plain, simple designs. Whereas if you're a fan of more like colourful, in-your-face t-shirts, we've got the big planet logo, big tee. Or the like Set 1 and 2 fan favourite creatures tees. These are really cool as well. So the Set 2 on here, as you can see, it's got everything like Omnius, the Weatherman, Elixir Angel. But yeah, the whole Set 2 gang on here. Then if we go back onto the other page, we've got way more stuff. We've got Slush. If you want the worst card in the game on a t-shirt, then this is the t-shirt for you. And then I've got a phone case and a bag on there so far. There will be more stuff to come up soon. This is actually a really cool t-shirt. This is one of my favourites. So it's just a really simple t-shirt with a card back on here, but this card here is actually the exact size of a real life Chaos Galaxy card. So that's pretty cool. If you want some fabric back cards, you can just buy dozens of these t-shirts, cut that square out and stick it on the back of your card. Wouldn't recommend doing that, but there's always an option if you want to. And yeah, that's the merch store. I also want to give a few shout outs before I get into this ban list. The first one is to Shulk Tiem. Huge thanks to Shulk Tiem who hosted the Galaxy Madness tournament. Go and subscribe to him. He's got so much Chaos Galaxy content up. These are all the battles from the tournament. There's loads of content of me on there. Loads of other stuff like meta analysis. I'm sure he'll have something to say on the new ban list that comes out in a minute. And then a big shout out to Meteor Stop as well. Which is another Chaos Galaxy dedicated channel hosted by 3 guys from the competitive scene. We've got Void Behemoth, Supernova and Professor Dare. All 3 of them run this channel where they have loads of battles, card discussions, all sorts of stuff. And look, with a picture like that, Professor Dare Wild Wing, you know, what more could you want from a YouTube channel? So yeah, that's the shout out. And now I'll get into the bit you've all been waiting for, the ban list. Okay, so I have the ban list here. I'm about to open it, but I want to thank Bunsen Burner for creating a poll on the Discord, which loads of people answered, and the ban list that I've come up with ties in as closely as possible to the results of the poll. So hopefully I've pleased as many people as possible, although I know a ban list is always going to create controversy. I'm doing this for what I think is best for the game, and I'll explain my choices in a second. So here's the ban list. I hope I don't annoy too many people with this. Okay, so here's the official ban list. As you can see, there's been a few changes. So I'll start off with telling you what my aims were for this ban list in the direction I want to take the game. First of all, I want to speed up games. A lot of recent games have been between like an hour and an hour and a half, which I think is too long. I want to get games to be between half an hour and an hour eventually, maybe down to like half an hour to 45 minutes on average. That's the direction I want to take the game. Obviously, that's going to come as I release more cards and combos get better. But the main choices with this list is to speed up the game, kill any sort of like infinite loop that just makes it impossible for your opponent to play, or just kind of drags out games until you win by recycling cards infinitely. I want to balance the planets as much as possible, although that's very hard to do through only banning a few cards. That's obviously something I want to keep in the game. And I want to improve how powerful weak creatures are compared to strong creatures. So I think there's a lot of very good reasons to have lots of powerful like 8-star or higher cards in your deck, but I want to make it just as important to have like those 4-star, 3-star and 2-star creatures in your galaxies as well. So they're my main aims with the ban list, and I'll go through the cards individually. So starting off banned, you guys know I'm not a fan of banning cards. I don't like that you can buy a pack of cards, open them, and you get a card inside that you're not allowed to use. However, I've had to ban Shockwave 5, unfortunately. Don't know what I was doing making this card. I'll hold it up here so you can read it if you want to. I won't read the card out. But basically, it means that if you're playing any 5-star cards, you have to be terrified that you could lose your entire hand, and that would pretty much probably be the game if this card gets played against you. Don't need to say much about it, so that's why I've banned it. Omnius is staying at 1, and Galaxy Crash is staying at 1. These are both fantastic cards, and I think they deserve to be staying at 1. This is maybe the most controversial one. Cracker, Beast of the Night Jungle, put down to 1. It's a fantastic card, and Night Jungles are a great deck that I really want to see thrive in the meta. But Cracker created this infinite loop, which, shout out to Unseen Oddish, won him the Galaxy Madness tournament. I played against him and lost, and this loop is crazy good. Basically, Cracker can shuffle 2 other killed Night Jungle creatures back into your galaxy with his ability, so you shuffle in a tree and another copy of Cracker, and you can just keep looping both copies of Cracker as they get killed over and over, and eventually win the game because your opponent runs out of stuff. The best way to hit this problem directly, I think, is putting Cracker down to 1, which is going to shake up Night Jungles. They'll have to kind of explore new strategies, I think, to remain a relevant deck, but I think they can remain a good deck, and Gaios is getting a lot of cool support in set 4, so I'll like to see what Night Jungles do to kind of respond to this, and hopefully they'll still be very good, but it means you have to use your Crackers more wisely, and you might need to use some more recycle cards like Quadruple Wormhole and Double Warp Hole to kind of get your Crackers back. Phantom Matter's staying at 1, that's fine, I think. Next up, Blaze Elixir staying at 1. I was thinking of taking this up to 2, but I think it's just such a good card and it would promote like OTKs, and I want to make the game faster. However, I don't want it to get to the speed where you can like lose in 1 turn, because that's no fun for anybody. Unless you're beating someone in 1 turn, but whatever. Next up, Ice Elixir. Not sure many people expected this. However, Ice Elixir is such a good card, and it's so good for stalling out. If, say, your opponent has 2 zoned creatures and nothing else, if you Ice Elixir those 2 creatures, your opponent can't do anything. They have to wait to pay 8 stars and then the stars for a creature if they want to do anything, because their existing creatures can't attack. So that's kind of taking out 3 turns from your opponent and then leaving them with like unplayable zones for ages. 1 Ice Elixir on its own is good, so I think a lot of people will be using that now. And I know not everyone uses 2 Ice Elixir, but I think it's a bit too good for those like stall decks, and it's very boring when you go up against a double Ice Elixir. Next up, we have Warp Hole Jetpack. This is to counter the deck King. If you're unfamiliar with King, it's basically using a lot of high star, like 6, 7, and 8 star creatures, and then using attachment cards and resource cards to give you enough stars to be able to like play one of those creatures every turn. And the deck is really good. It got to the finals of the Galaxy Madness tournament, of course losing out to Night Jungle. However, one of their best cards is Warp Hole Jetpack, and I think Warp Hole Jetpack is slightly too powerful. When you get like an 8 star creature that's killed, you just get to free play another one for nothing, and then that'll then kill you the creature that killed your creature, if that makes sense. So I think it just gives you too much of an advantage, and it's too hard to get around this early in the game's development. When there's more cards that come out that kind of counter attachment cards, I think the power of this card will definitely go down, and it could come off the ban list, but for now it's down to 1. And then Beast of the Black Hole, which I don't need to talk about because it's really good. Cool, so that's the ban list. Oh, there's one more card I need to talk about, actually. A card that's come off the ban list that you might not have noticed, but that card is, here we go, Eternity Amulet. A really strong card that was put down to 1, although at the time I put it down to 1, a lot of people were like, yeah, it's a good card, but it doesn't need to be kind of half banned. But this was kind of a while ago, before set 3 was out. Barrow was the best deck at the time, and Eternity Amulet really helped Barrow. So hopefully it'll kind of push Barrow back up into the meta slightly. And again, it's going off that point that I was explaining before, where I want to make weak creatures kind of stronger as compared to using powerful creatures in your galaxy. So obviously boosting stats is going to be really good for weaker creatures, whereas with a lot of stronger creatures, their stats are already high anyway. So kind of having them protected from other attacks isn't going to make that much difference. So I've put Eternity Amulet back up to 2, which is nice for anyone who's a big fan of Eternity Amulet. But yeah, that's the ban list for now. Let me know what you think of it. Feel free to shout at me in the comments. Let me know if you think I did a good job. Let me know if you think I did a bad job, whatever. But yeah, that's that for now. So please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check out that lovely new merch store, join the Chaos Galaxy Discord, check out Meteor Stop Off and Shulk Tiem, some really good channels doing other Chaos Galaxy content. Follow me on Instagram, and that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I was too busy just looking at my Chaos Galaxy TCG official merch